Hello, good evening or good afternoon to Team WunderBar. I am, in case you don't know me by now, my name is Patty Wonder. I am your, or one of your upline directors. And I got back from leadership in Cancun. On Friday night, and I have a sore throat, and my ears are finally starting to feel better, so that's good. So I'll be sipping tea, and I might need a throat lozenge as we go through. But I've been wanting to come live since I got home, and today something prompted me to be like, no, let's do it today. So I'm going to put it on my my computer too, so that in case I don't see comments, I can see them in front of me on my computer. So, oh, Kathy Paps just shared something, I see. All right. So, if you haven't watched, the first thing I'm going to say is if you haven't watched Dan's live or webinar, I think we'll call it that, Dan's webinar, it is pinned to the top of this group. Please go watch it. It's probably an hour long. I'm just telling you ahead of time. But it's really important to watch it. So please, if you have not watched Dan's live, and if you haven't watched, or Dan's webinar, if you haven't watched mine and Jacqueline's live, so what happened was, we got all the information. I should also tell you, but when we walked, I don't know if anybody's been looking at my photos from Cancun, but before we're allowed into the training, into the event, if you will, we have to have a non-disclosure agreement signed with Scentsy. And there were tables outside, so that if your name was on that table, you weren't allowed in until you signed your non-disclosure. So there's things I can't say, there's things I can say, but I think Dan pretty much told you everything. That's how I feel anyway. I was like, I wouldn't have told you all that. So we knew that they kept saying an email was coming. And we realize now it wasn't an email, it was a workstation bunch of articles. And so I think they quickly realized they probably did that backwards, and they should have did the video first and then the workstation articles. And this is where I was really happy. I was really happy and really grateful that I was in Cancun, and that me and your superstar director, Jacqueline Roy, are ahead of it. So we left the first session. As soon as we left, we immediately looked for someplace safe and quiet to go to come talk to you, so that you would get the information before you got the news on workstation. Because sometimes when you get news like that, I'll finish my thought first. Sometimes when you get news like that, it is without the context and the feeling and the statistics and all the other stuff that goes around those changes. You feel like you've been hit by a bus, or you feel like you've been blindsided, or there's a lot of feelings, lots of things to process, right? So by the time, because you had me and Jacqueline here to like, hey, this is what's coming and this is why, by the time you got the information, it wasn't so scary and it was more understandable. And yes, it might still be uncomfortable, but do you know what I'm saying? So if you haven't watched my video with Jacqueline or Dan's video, please do that. Especially if you haven't even looked at Workstation yet. Please, God, tell me you've looked at Workstation. The other thing that you have to remember, first of all, I am really proud to be your leader. I'm really proud to represent Team WunderBar. And I'm really proud that you all have stayed classy and positive. Honest, but positive. There's a real difference between snarky and victim mentality versus, okay, this is uncomfortable and I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like change, but it's going to be okay. The one thing I think a lot of us, especially the ones that were at leadership, I think a lot of us, we have been around, I've been around 10 years this year. So we have seen a lot of changes. Now, Jacqueline's seen even more, and I think she talks about that in the video that we did. But changes have to happen. You cannot be part of a business that does not change. The worst thing you can do for your business is to say, well, this is how we always done it. Well, this is the way it always was. Because that will bankrupt you as fast as, you change your underwear. Like, seriously. You cannot be a successful business. And Scentsy is a business. I think sometimes people forget about that as well. I think people think, it's your hobby and you just like the products and that's cool, but it's a business. And some of us, even if you're not treating it like a business, it's a business for a lot of people. And we want this business to last a very, 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 very long time. I want to know that when I go, I can give my business to Chloe. They have a legacy clause so that you can give somebody in your family your business so they keep getting that residual income. What you do with this kind of business is build so that you don't have to work so hard all the time. When I joined, I knew that if I worked my ass off for 1 to 2 years, I could build an amazing foundation to where then I wouldn't have to work super, super hard ever again. And then I moved countries and now I'm working really hard again. And it's not that I never worked hard before, but it becomes really second nature. I knew when I get out of bed that I would do this and that I would do that. And I'm a very routine person. So I was really thrown off my keister when I moved, like even how people pay for things. You all have heard all this stuff already. So you want to be in a business that creates change. The other thing I want to remind, so somebody pointed this out the other day. So 2017, I joined in 2015. And so did Vicky, and so did, I'm trying to think of everybody else who did. Forgive me. I just know Vicky because we went to the first SFR together. So, we've been in for 10 years. And 2015, when we came in, the minimum PRV you had to have was 150 PRV every 4 months. Every 4 months, you had to make sure that one of those months you had 150 PRV. Okay? 2017 rolls around and they raise it to 200. Everybody acted the same fucking way that they're acting right now. Actually, probably not even as worse. It's probably worse now, to be honest. I think everybody's just in a more negative headspace ever since COVID, that's just my opinion. So that was a 50 PRV bump. Did we freak out? Well, I didn't. I mean, here's the thing. The people that are working and the people that put the time and energy into their business consistently, none of these changes surprise us. And none of them, they all affect us. I mean, I felt a little nauseous when I saw the 2,000 to 2,500. I'm like, but in the same breath, I'm like, yeah, but who doesn't want to earn annual sales every year? So if that's really what I want, and I keep saying I really want it, then why am I even blinking or feeling weird about it? Like, let's just be honest, Patty, get your shit together. So I feel it too. I know some of you are just in it to order once a year, but here's the thing. Then during COVID, they changed it to 200 PRV once a year. So not even once every 4 months. If you want to keep your team, you need to, for the love of all that's holy. You should be, if you have any team members whatsoever, you really should have 500 PRV, no less, and just get in that habit. But if you have team members, if you're not even active every 4 months, you're not probably leading the way you should be. So then they roll up. So you will lose your team still at 4 months. But once a year, for all you hobbyists, 50 PRV a year increase. A year. Not every 4 months. That's 200 PRV more a year the way it was when we came in, and then it changed in 2017 to 200. So 50 PRV a year. Seriously, it's really not that big of a deal. Even to you that just do it as a hobby and just do it for personal use and friends and family, 50 PRV a year. A tub of washer whisk is what, 30, 35? Some bars. You should be using that anyway for your own use, personal use stuff. Like, you can put that in club, man. And I think sometimes that's the other thing. Are you your best customer? Do you use the cleaning products? Do you use the laundry products? Do you use the wax? Do you use, good Lord, I'm running out of things. I just took one of the swipes out of my room and put them in the kitchen because we're out of the Clorox ones. We have a lot of animal stuff, so I do tend to use the Clorox ones for around animal foods. But really, I just really wanted to give you that perspective and to just say, everything in business. So I think that the live I did at the beginning of the month or last month, where I talked about when we talked to Orville and Heidi, and the idea that they had said there are so many consultants doing parties. 70% of parties in Workstation are consultant hosted. They were thinking about getting rid of the ability for consultants to be hosts. So when we talked to them a couple months, that was an idea. Just so you know. They were looking at the numbers, and they were looking at the numbers, and they were like, this is not how this was designed. This was not for people to get stock and then sell it for double. This is not how it was supposed to be. This is for you to build your business. This is to reward someone for introducing them or introducing you to more people that you don't have. The idea is to build your customer base so that your reorder business is substantial, that people have Scentsy Club orders, that while you're sleeping, people are shopping on your website, so that you can make money by taking just really good care of the customers that you've built. This is not about, I'm just going to stockpile a bunch of stuff and build up my inventory and then sell it for full price because I got it for free or high price. No, that's not what it's from. And they're watching that. You need to have more parties that are not consultant, that you're not the host of, period. And that is what they're going to be watching from now on. So they could have done that. They didn't. The other thing they could have done was raise all the prices. Now, they don't raise prices very often. I think Vicki mentioned it in a message to me yesterday. She's like, to me, Scentsy takes forever to do things like this. Like, the whole world, everything's gone up in price. Everything. Shipping's gone up in price. Products have gone up in price. Housing has gone up in price. Everybody says eggs have gone up in price. I don't know about New Zealand and Australia, but people are losing their minds over here about the price of eggs. It's quite hilarious. As a vegan, I just kind of laugh. But it's groceries. Groceries are always expensive, and they go up. Like, it isn't. You can't be so ignorant to think that nothing's going to change. And that's probably really blunt and harsh for me to say that way. But do you think that Scentsy's in a bubble and they're not a business and they just want to make sure that you're happy and you're comfy? No, it's a business. It's the best business in my opinion, but it's still a business. So you have to look at it like that. And you have to look at the bigger picture. If Scentsy doesn't make these changes now, and these are little tweaks, how can we still pay our consultants for working? How do we still reward our hosts? But how do we make up for that missing? I mean, you saw the slides. If you haven't watched Dan's webinar, please go watch it because the slides are incredible. Let me go through my notes. Okay, so this was my notebook and honestly, I hardly ever use my notebooks at events. This one is really, really used. Mind-blowing. All right, I'm just going to quickly look. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Annette. Hello, Tina. Okay. One of the things, obviously you saw the renewal book that I had, so that's recommended reading is Renewal and The Boys in the Boat. And The Boys in the Boat, or The Boat, The Games of 30, I'll find it. But anyway, The Boys in the Boat is the other thing you want to read the book and watch the movie. There's a movie, I think it's on Netflix, so I need to go do that yet. So what Scentsy decided to do, instead of raising prices or going to an affiliate program, for those of you that don't know what like a lot of direct sales companies have moved to affiliate companies. And I won't even say direct sales. I'm going to say multi-level, because to me, they're different. I will say things like Roden and Fields. I will say things like, what's the other one? Where they will only pay you on your sales. You don't get paid on your team anymore. They took away everybody's team. Everybody sells for themselves. And you get an affiliate discount or something like that. Like you would, like when I promote Passion Planner, I get a kickback for being an affiliate of Passion Planner, or for Marco Polo. I don't get a kickback or anything from Marco Polo. I just really like the app. But that's an affiliate. It killed people's businesses, and then a lot of them closed. The other thing is, a lot of people have investors and people that are on the board that have put money into a company that don't, as soon as it starts getting like a little bit, no business is always this way. Every business, even if you worked in the mall, you knew when your slow days were, you knew when your slow months were. It's the same thing with Scentsy. I mean, it is life. We are retail. I hate to say it, but we are. And that's why Scentsy Club is so important, because it will keep you more even. So you have to expect these changes. You have to, because if you don't, bad things are going to happen. So if Scentsy wants to pivot a little bit here and there, they will. So the focus now, a lot of this you're going to hear at World Tour, because they're really focusing on this at World Tour. New customer acquisition, customer engagement, new consultant acquisition, and consultant engagement. 58% of consultants place an order in a given month. So I think he said, 154,000 now we have worldwide. 58% place an order of any amount. Okay. Oh yeah, 154,000. I wrote it underneath. So that 75% of all consultants are inactive. That means it's less than 200 PRV that they're placing. 25% are active. Average ordering customer per consultant. So how many customers are ordering a year from a consultant? In 2018, it was 18. In 2024, it was 10. So reduced customers per consultant, okay? The average number of new customers per consultant went from 11 to 4. So people are only getting 4 new customers a year. Even 11 is really sad, to be honest. My goal was always 20 new customers a year, because if I did parties, there should be a minimum 5 people at a party. And usually there's 5 to 13 on the average, right? So when you think about 11 to 4, that's really sad. Okay, I'm giving you the nitty-gritty. The average PRV per consultant from 2018 to 2024 stayed at 2,000. Average party order count per year per consultant. So in 2018, the average party order, the amount of parties per consultant was 4. In 2024, the average number of parties per consultant per year was 12. 70% of parties are consultants. Now, somebody had asked me, they sent me a message and asked me if she understood it correctly. So I'm going to try to, sorry, I have messages coming in. So the amount of customers coming in is going down. The PRV is staying the same, but the number of parties are going up. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but logic tells me that, thank you, Tina. Shit, I got 6 new customers last week alone. Right. The whole 4 per year just blows my mind. I was like, well, what? Who's doing that? Anyway, no judging, but just wow, because I can't fathom that. So what that means is that consultants are making themselves the hosts of parties, and they are spending the same amount of money, but they're losing customer base. Now, there's also another caveat to this, and I think it's a big one probably for a lot of people, depending on how you do your business, but I have preached and preached and preached and preached, and I still know there's a couple of you that do this, so please stop. When you put orders through the computer, put them under individual people. Put them under the correct customer. You should be getting every cell number, email address, mailing address from every single customer, period. They should be entered into your system, and you should be putting things under them. With the new system the way it is, you can even move products under customers after the order goes through. In case it was like an individual order and you had to put a bunch together, you can now move them and put them. The other reason is that when you use your reports tab in Workstation, when there's like a discontinued list, or bring back my bar, or who ordered the Star Wars product, because we have new Star Wars products coming out, this is so that you can run those reports and the names will come up, not your name all the time. And then you won't remember, was she? I mean, kudos to you if you can remember everything everybody orders from you. And if you only have 4 customers a month, that might work. But I certainly cannot remember. I remember specific customers for sure. But you need to put the work in. And I'll tell you this, they will be watching now. They are watching now. So please put the information into Workstation like a professional that you are, not be lazy and not do the work. The other thing it's going to get you in trouble for is bulk buying. If everything's always under you, that's a problem. And it will be flagged in the system at some point. Make sure that you are getting all your customers' details. One of the things that I've always told customers that are, every once in a while you meet somebody that's like, isn't forthcoming with their information, and you're just like, you know what, if you could just, because on my order forms, I don't have one, I have what I want from them highlighted. I said, if you could just fill in anything that's highlighted here for me, that would be amazing. You know, in case I get hit by a bus tomorrow and you have to return your product, it's easier for them to find you. Now, that's my method. You might not want to use that method. Or I used to always say it's for warranty purposes, especially if there's a warmer on it. So for warranty purposes, could you please fill this out? They don't, here, I have one that I have sitting in front of me. Let me cover up. Oh, I don't have a credit card on here, so that works. So I highlight, I miss my New Zealand order forms, by the way. Can I tell you that? Look how messy that is. Let me take it off the clipboard. But this is what we have on this side, where you guys have that nice space, and I could always put my stamp in region 3. I don't have that over here. But I highlight name, address, city, state, zip, daytime phone. I wish it just said cell, and then email, and I highlight that. So can you just fill out everything that's highlighted? Thank you. So the only thing that's not highlighted is basically evening phone number here. But I do every single one of them. I do all my order forms that way. So get into that habit. It's a really good habit to get into, and for so many reasons. It's not just to appease Scentsy. It is to help you be a better consultant, to help you have better follow-up, to help you be more efficient. All of our brains, I say the bulk of Team WunderBar's brains are kind of like mush a lot, and we all have, a lot of us are neurospicy, and some of us have mental health problems, and we can't remember everything. So if you're doing everything the right way to start with, you don't have to remember anything. It's like lying. If you don't lie, you don't have to remember anything, because the story is always going to be the same, right? Yeah. Okay. So then they talked about this in Dan's video: renewal, cash, hope, innovation, simplification, expansion, and leadership. Scentsy is still in the black. Obviously, sales have declined, but they're not surprised by that, because, like I said, every business goes up and down. But they need to move things around, and they need to adjust so that the decline doesn't stay a decline, it evens out and then starts to grow again. And we go into hypergrowth 3.0. That's the goal, right? So cash is basically your financial situation at Scentsy, and it's good. Heidi and Orville are super, super smart. Orville is amazing with money, and he foresees a lot, and he makes good decisions, and I never worry. I might feel uncomfortable, or I might not like something, or maybe agree with it right away, but usually I just sit back and wait to see why they did this. I do not react. I do not get emotional. Jacqueline told somebody, well, actually, maybe she said it on the video that we did, but I didn't know she was watching me. But she's like, do you want to see the list of everything that's changing? She was like whispering to me while they were on stage, and I said, sure. And so she showed me her phone where it was all listed, and I just read it. And she's like, you read it? She goes, and you didn't say anything? And then I could see you processing, and then you were like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, this isn't an emotional decision. This is a hard decision for Scentsy, but it is a necessity. If you don't make the right decisions, we're not going to have a Scentsy. So they are forthcoming enough to not wait where things get bad, and not wait to be in the red before they do something. We're still in the black, and we're still making money. It's not as much as we did in COVID, obviously, because that was fucking insane, but not much is, right? So we're going to do things differently. Scentsy has said we're going to show the world how to do direct sales correctly. It is a party plan company. Does that mean home parties? No. But it means having parties, gaining new customers. So in the sense of the party. So whether you do that in a text party, or a bake party, or a home party, or an online party, or an email party, or a bunch of people at a sip and sniff together at a restaurant, and it creates a party order. Whatever that looks like, the word party is just basically what we're getting back to, where we are rewarding somebody for introducing us to more customers, right? That's the goal. And they are doubling down on that. So everything going forward that they're going to be helping us with is to gain customers, gain recruits, and help build both. You already found out, hopefully this is not news to some of you people, but car bars are going away and travel twists are going away globally. And then Scentsy Body's going away in Region 2 and Region 3, because you sell less than 2% of your sales are those products. So if they don't sell, that's how I felt when they got rid of pets. I was like, what? I'm not really a big fan of car bars or travel twists, so I don't really care. I give them as gifts, but I'm not like a... And the travel twists have never, I don't think this is going to surprise anybody, travel twists have never gained momentum. They never did well. And what Scentsy said was, look, if a product's not doing well, it's hurting our brand. So if people are getting them and they're not lasting or they're not performing the way we thought they were performing, we need to pull those because that's our reputation. And that's how you have to look at some of this stuff. Now, I know the body care stuff is great. Don't get me wrong. But if it's not pulling in, you have to make those cuts. Fan diffusers, again, this was in Dan's video, are being rebranded. The whole fan collection is going to be called Scentsy Air. So starting in the March 1st catalog. So Scentsy Air is going to be the tabletop diffuser, air diffuser, fan diffuser. Wow, my brain. The wall fan is going to be called Scentsy Air Mini. The Scentsy Go is going to be called Air Go. So cute. The mini fan diffuser is going to be called the Scentsy Air Solo. And the Scentsy Air is going to be called Scentsy Air Quad. But the whole category is now being called Scentsy Air. And I am so happy about that, because when I talk to people and I say diffuser, they think oils. And I'm like, you don't want to be putting oil in your fan diffuser. So that makes that cut a little bit. The rebranding that I think is a really good idea. I do love car with her. For sure. I think like 2 cents, was it 2 cents? Well, now they're sold in 3s. Do the same job as one car bar. And yeah, so, yes, Michelle. Yes, he does. It's amazing. And I trust him impeccably. And I think that's why I never worry when changes come. They might feel icky at first, but I really don't respond. I usually just sit back and go, let's see how this pans out. Because I don't know. I'm not sitting in that office with their accountants and their lawyers and reading all the stat sheets, and ugh, who would want to? But they have to do what's best for the many, even if it pisses off the few. Let's just say that. That's a petty thing, right? The bundle and saves. So excited about this because I have not memorized American Kindness. I still know all the New Zealand ones. So the fact that it's just a 10% off across the board, and it can be any warmer in 6 bars. There's no cutoff on how much the warmer has to cost, because in those bundles they had, like, just to give you an idea for our catalog. So it stops at $50 warmers, but there's $70 warmer, a $65 warmers, $60 warmers, $50 warmers, $55 warmers. So none of those you can put in a bundle. So now they can all be bundled, and it's 6 bars, not 3. So I love it, and it's just straight 10%. And I love that when you're putting things into Workstation, you can put the warmer, and then you can start putting the bars in, and the system will bundle it for you. No remembering, because a lot of things I teach new consultants is always, okay, don't forget to put in this. It's called Perfect Scentsy. Okay, then you're going to do the multi-pack. Okay, then you have to accept the multi-pack. So really, when you think about it, a straight 10% and it does the work for you, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The buy 5, get 1 free for the wax bars is, I know everybody's a little bit about that one. For a while, previous to, I think, was it last year or the year before when they made the change? When people bought bars on the website, they never put them into bundles. And then we were like, can you just do it for customers? The whole point was that this was a chance for you to reach out to your customer and say, oh my gosh, I saw that you just purchased something. Thank you so much. Next time, let me know. I can order it for you. Or if you go under bundle and save, you would have got a free bar. It was a way for you to connect. That's the whole point. Connection, 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 because you need to be having that. And then they changed it to where all of a sudden when you put 6 bars, I think they changed it last year. When you put 6 bars in your cart, it would automatically discount them. But it discounted them like a little bit. It didn't do like free on the bar. It was weird. And so it didn't really look like that much of a savings. So that's the other weirdness to that. Just thinking about it. So now the fact that we're kind of going back to what we had before, which was they pay for 6 separate bars, or they contact you to place the order through Workstation, and then you do have to do 6 Scentsy bars and put them in. But again, it's a way for you to reach out and build that relationship and those connections. One thing I've learned, even from being here, my New Zealand customers still come to me, either to tell me about something or somebody doing something not right, or they come to me and tell me about their new pet, or they whatever they do. We still have connection. We still have a friendship, even though I live over here. So when Scentsy put these things, it's to make us better consultants. And you know what? Most people don't even matter. But if you're doing a bulk order, you'll be able to put 6 Scentsy bars in. Or if you're doing an individual. But it's an excuse for you to talk to, or your customers to contact you directly. I don't think it's a bad system. It's interesting about how one does it, and the only way you can do it is if you're a consultant. Might be a recruiting thing. Might be something that's a perk for somebody to join. I don't know. But right now I'm just trusting it, and we'll see how it goes. Again, if it's not working or something's pissing us off, the leaders usually say something, and then they look at it again, and then they pivot or adjust as needed. True, Kim. That's a really good idea too. That's a great idea, Kim. In case you're not reading, Kim said it's a cool wee party perk too for customers attending parties. True that. Thank you. That's a great idea. I didn't even think of that. You're still getting, so you pick 6 bars and you get 10% off. You're still getting something off. Pick 3 flowers, you save 10%. Pick 3 pack of scent circles, you get 10% off. Laundry Love, Classic Clean, Moisture Mendy, except for region 2 and 3, you save 10%. This is so much easier than trying to go back to the, let me just, because at a party, I'm like, hold on, let me just see, wait, how much was your warmer? Okay, and, okay, so, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have a special bundle for that. That's what I run into all the time. So, I love that. Warmer plus 6 bars, save 10%. Diffuser and 6 oils, save 10%. Or 6 oils, just 6 oils, save 10%. Really enjoyed that little announcement that he made. It's the air product, any air product. Oh, that was the other thing. With the warmer and 6 bars, it could be a mini warmer and 6 bars or $100 warmer and 6 bars. It doesn't matter. You still get 10% off. It's cool, right? It's easier. Then we have the air product, any of the air products, and a 6-pod twin packs, save 10%. Love it. Simplicity. Remember generosity, simplicity. Yep. Automated upselling and apply discount without them having to go to a specials tab. So they're, they don't have to go to the bundle, the specials tab to go find the bundle or all these things, right? So it's all simplified that way too. And then auto bundle at cart level in Workstation. So no having to enter bundles differently, except for the 6 bars. Activity and party tiers, keeping one, it's just one $250 PRV, 1 month out of 12. They're not changing it back to every 4 months. They've seen some good things with keeping it once a year. Some of us don't agree. I'm some of us. For the simple fact is, I feel like the people that only order once a month, they don't have a website, which means you're not going to get random orders. And if you're only ordering once a year, most of your customers, if you have any customers, don't want to wait for you to place a big order once a year. And since you don't have a PWS, you're not going to get the orders. That was something that was really surprising when I went through and I did my I was looking at everybody's numbers, and I watched when the numbers went down and when they started going down, and I realized they don't have a PWS anymore. And it's a very double-edged sword, because if you don't have a PWS, you're not going to get the random orders. And if you have the PWS, you're afraid that you're paying for it. But at the same time, you're not going to get anything if you don't pay for it. So you have to decide. But I think it's one of the worst decisions in this business is not to have a PWS. I really believe that to my core. I use my PWS for price checks, for the clearance section, for Scentsy Club, for team building, for the catalog, it's like my one thing that I use so much, that I use probably more than Workstation. So I don't understand. I can understand not wanting to do the business, but at least have the website so that the people that don't want to contact you can actually, or it's late, or it's the middle of the night, or whatever it is, and they want to place the order when they think of it, and they're like, oh, I have to send her a text, or oh, I have to contact her, or whatever that looks like. It's a lot easier if you have a PWS. So, please, for the love of all that's holy, activate your PWS and make the money to pay for it. Again, in the grand scheme of business, do you know what it costs to create a website, upkeep a website, update your website, and do all the things that Scentsy does? The amount that they charge us isn't that much. So, the party tiers, you're going to look at those in your own. It's still the first tier is your active level, and the third tier is your leadership level. So 500 PRV is level 3, which is now 600 for us. And then for $600 for us. And then the first one was the active. So a party is $250 starting in March 1st. Now the paid at rank thing. So that has to do with your, and there are some people, and I'll be watching out, because I usually do look at people, and people that are close to the 200 every month, I'm like, hey, you might know this, but you might not, because you might not be looking. And some people have PWSs and they just don't pay attention. And I'll be like, you're like 2 PRV away from being active this month. But they haven't really, because it was Scentsy Club or it was website orders, so it happened to add up to that. But they didn't know that. And so they weren't looking at websites. So I find that I take it on as my job a little bit too before the end of the month, going, hey, do you know you're this close to being active? And I'm going to be doing it again and continually once it bumps up to 250 as well, because I want to make sure that you don't miss out on anything. And if this is the 1 month that you thought, well, this is my 1 month a year that I'm going to place an order, and you're short, you'll be pissed. And I don't want you to be pissed. I want you to be happy and I want you active. So together we can work on that. But if you don't hit the 250, you're not going to be paid at the 25%. You'll be paid at the 20%. And that's the other thing. I would rather have you paid at the 25%. Okay. And then the 2,000 goes up to the 25,000 or the 2,500. I'm just going through all my notes. Okay. Orville and Heidi. Scentsy is very financially stable with a tiny bit of chosen debt that they could pay off if they chose to. There's some things you have to apparently get debt to, like they had to get a machine or something, but they had to put, the way they paid for it had to be through a loan or something like that. And they're just like, but we'll give you the money. And they didn't work it that way or something. And so he explained it to us, and he's like, if we really wanted to, we could pay it off, but we just didn't. We're just like, okay, we'll just pay it off as we go. Then we were really, that movie, Four Boys, or what is it called? Boys in a Boat. The Boys in the Boat. The idea of leadership was really based around this movie, and it's about getting the people in the boat and getting people kind of on the same page. I don't know if any of you, I used to do kayaking, and we had to get our paddles in sync. And I remember when we had the twist right of the paddle and the rhythm right, we both worked less, but we moved faster. And that's kind of what this whole thing was about for leadership. It was, how can you get your swing, is what they called it. You know, you have the person at the front of the boat that is, you know, calling out and doing things, and you're watching and you're working together as a team to reach this destination and to reach a gold medal in this thing. So how can you all get your ass in the boat and find your swing together so we can go across the finish line together? Well, it's going to take everybody. It's going to actually take leaders being leaders. I think for the last couple of years, a lot of leaders that are in Team WunderBar have been a little complacent. I can see it with their team numbers dropping off. I can see it with their own numbers. And after COVID, we're all kind of a little burnt out, and we let it go. And then we were tired. So I got it. But you know what? It's 2025. And at some point, you have to stand up and dust yourself off and go. Because this used to be fun for a lot of you. This used to be so much fun, and you had so much fun, and you were doing parties, and you had so much fun, and it was fun watching you get paid, and it was fun watching you go to World Tour, and it was fun watching you go to SFR, and you made it happen because your energy was different. You were having fun. You need to go back to that. If you think this is a chore, it's going to feel like a chore. If you think this is an opportunity, imagine what you can do with it. And I have never... Well, I shouldn't say never. There's times where I think things are chores. I won't lie. But when I think about doing this job versus working for somebody else, that tells me what time I have to be there, what days I can work, what I can have to wear, what my hours are. Sometimes the job itself. No thanks. I'll take this. I'm still in my jammies. I did put a bra on for you guys. But really think about that perspective. Choose your hard. Is building a customer base hard? Yeah. Well, it's simple, but it's not easy. So yes, it's hard. But you have watched me. You have watched me. I came here with zero. And I've been transparent with you because I thought this was my way to show you that even when I had to start over, I was doing the things I've taught you how to do. Waiting for a live video signal, apparently on my computer. So I don't know if you can see me, but hey. It will resume shortly. So I'm going to keep going. You're going to need systems. You're going to need positivity. Oh, I'm back. Okay. Stick with me. I'll keep going. Be the leader who shows and goes the way so that your team can follow. Oh, I got comments too now on my phone. Enthusiastic support. I love the theme, get our swing. We work better. We do. And when we're all cheering us on, when we're all engaging in the team page, when we're not being complacent and kind of lazy and sluggish and icky, when we're bringing that energy in and we're happy, genuinely happy for people and wanting everybody to succeed, we are better together. We will find our swing again. And I just have to remind you, when I debuted as a director, I had 14 people in my group. 14. That's it. We, as 14 people, did over 10,000 group wholesale. So I know what is possible with the few, but now we have many. So we should be kicking some royal behind, man. And one thing that it became abundantly clear while I was at leadership is I am Region 3. I may live here, but I am Region 3. And what I mean by that is I think it helps us, you, me, I think it helps us that I'm here and lived there for as long as I lived there and built my business in New Zealand and in Region 3 because I know how you guys feel. I know that you feel disconnected. I know that you feel like, Region 1 gets everything in Region 3. By the way, I sat next to Gabby, the shining star of 2024 from Mexico. I sat next to her. She feels the same way. So she fights for region for Mexico. They're in the same region. They don't get half of what you get or what we get or anything. So while everybody's bitching and moaning about all this shit all the time about something, like, oh my God, poor Scentsy. If they do this, it's not right. If they do that, it's not right. If they give snow things to only snow Northern Hemisphere people during winter, then the Southern Hemisphere all of a sudden wants snowmen. But then when they give them a Sandman, then Region 1 in like Florida and Texas, they want that. Like, Scentsy cannot make everybody happy all the time, and they put up with a lot of shit from us. Let me just say that. I'm always like, oh my God, the things people focus on are not important. But if they really lived in a different region, let me tell you how grateful they were that they would look back and said, wow, we really had it in Region 1. I'm the opposite. So everything I talked about in Cancun this week, there was nothing Region 1 about it. It was all Region 3. All of it. To Deb, to Chuck, to Matt Cooley, who's in charge of IT, to, by the way, we still have to communicate, him and I, to Tab Compton. He's the COO, Chief of Operations. I had lunch with him, and I just drilled him about Region 3, Region 3, Region 3. So please know, just because I'm here doesn't mean I'm here. I'm still there. I'm still in Region 3. They have enough people fighting for Region 1. I don't need to fight for Region 1. I need to fight for you guys. And you are my family, and you are my team, and you are my heart, and I'm proud to be your voice. And so I felt really, really, really grateful that I went to that leadership and I got that information as fast as I did and could deliver it with context to you because I was there. That kind of stuff is not lost on me. And I want you to know that because this trip made it abundantly clear that I am Region 3 to my core. I may live here and talk funny like they do here. Yeah, mate. See, I can't do it. I can't do it. Kia ora. But I will forever, I think, be Region 3 in my soul. And I will always fight for you and be your voice. So never not tell me or never assume that because I'm here, I don't get it. It's not true. I get it. And I can feel it. I'm big on energy, as most of you know me by now. So I can feel it when things aren't right. And then I start addressing it real quick. So, one of the things I also wanted you, if you haven't signed up for these yet, there's trainings happening called, I'm going to my workstation right now. Hold on. Training homepage. Oh no, it was news. View all news. Oh, Spark Sessions. Scentsy Spark Sessions. They are global, but they're probably at weird fucking times in the morning by you, and I'm not even gonna lie. Again, things I talked to about Region 3. But there are trainings. I'm sorry this is long. I just had a lot to cover. Quick note before any of you hop off. If you are in the public with box spoiler group that customers and consultants are in, they've just renamed it. If you are in that group, get out of that group now. Scentsy very aware of that group. They are very aware of the slander from the admin, and they are going to go in. Get out of that group. Please, I don't want any Team WunderBar people in that group. And if there's really, really, really negative groups and they're allowing it, get out of those groups. That's all I'm saying. I'm not allowed to say a lot, but get out. Get out of those groups. Thank you. All right. But so they have these new training where they have 8 key drivers of success. So you can go on and get training from Scentsy, and they have different time slots. So you just go on the Calendly link that's there and you choose what time you want. You might have to do it before work or after work or whatever. But I remember getting up at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning all the time in New Zealand to attend certain things in the beginning. Thank you, Tina. Well done. But it's about finding new customers, increasing orders and upselling, elevating customer engagement, preferred customers, recruiting to grow your team, consistently meeting activity requirements, and helping others do the same, empowering your team to grow their teams, earning awards and helping others to do the same, attending events and helping others do the same. So there's all these things they're offering for free with home office. And that's another tip I'm going to give you. If you can get yourself to more and more home office connecting things, Region 3, you have a gift. You will be remembered the more you participate. You will have more voice in Region 3 the more you participate and engage. It's something that I'm so glad I did, because I will tell you the majority of Region 1 hasn't even met Heidi and Orville. Just telling you. So be grateful and take advantage of those opportunities as they arise. Boys of 36 is the name of the movie. See, I knew I'd get there. And as they said, it's gut check time. Are you in it? Are you going to help with swing? Are you going to get your ass in the boat? Can we do this together? Are you in for the ride? Are you ready to come back? Are you ready to reignite your business? Are you ready to start over, rebuild with me, obviously? Let us do it together and let's have some fun doing it, right? Now, I'm going to give you I'm going to tell you what I saw. Shh, be very quiet. Now, what I saw and what I remember are two different things. So in the new catalog, and now it's a Region 1 catalog. They didn't have other regions. Most people know my favorite color is black. I want a goth house that's all black. I love the color black, or the lack of color black. But I also like Moroccan colors, so whatever. I'm a Gemini. So when I told you I opened the book and was like gasping, which I never do at a new catalog. Very rarely do I get all hyped up about a new catalog. I just don't. I really don't. But I got really excited about a couple of things because they were black. So this is for listening all the way through. So don't be posting in there. Don't post it in the comments, because you have to earn the right to know this information. Where am I? Oh, I'm on this one. Okay, there I am. All right. So, okay. Don't comment about them. You can say yay or things like that, but don't say what I'm telling you, because unless they watch the video, they don't deserve to know. A black Scentsy air purifier, a black Scentsy air, a really cute black warmer. There is a wood-grained tabletop fan diffuser. Scentsy air, now that's going to be called. I didn't even see Hamish, but I wasn't looking for Hamish. Sorry. There is another cow buddy clip that has a fucked up haircut. I don't know what the hell kind of cow that is. I kept going, what kind of cow is this? It's like a Mexican fiesta cow. I don't know. Anyway, it's cute, but it doesn't look like a cow. None of the fragrances were completely offensive, which was really lovely. But again, those are ours, and yours probably gonna have different ones because you're in a different season. I'm trying to think of no changes to the colors of the mini fans, sadly. Kind of wish we had more colors again. Oh, have fun getting your hair done too, by the way, Kim. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and if you're really keen, when you look at, because I wouldn't have told you this, but since he already told you in the video, there's a new laundry product. Now, again, I don't know if this is global or not, but it's called Scentsy Sheets, or laundry sheets, something like that. But I don't know if you have them over there, but we have them here where they're laundry detergent sheets. So they're on a roll and you just rip one off, and then you drop it in and it disintegrates, and that's the soap. So they're more eco-friendly. So getting those. I'm trying to think of what else was in the catalog. So those are the things I can remember. I'm sorry. I had 5 minutes, and they had security watching us and a timer on the table. And they made sure that nobody took any, we couldn't bring our phones over there, nothing. It was like locked down. I've been working today on our next climbers group, because I want us to kick off the new coming up. I know Jacqueline's live, the Mindset Monday is starting now, so I better go. But the other last thing I'm going to tell you is they're going to run a challenge for everybody from the 1st of February to the end of March. You want to have 5 non-consultant parties opened and closed in those amounts. So next month it'll be 200 PRV parties, and March 1st to the end of March will be 250 PRV orders. But you need a total of 5 parties in the next 2 months, starting February 1st, and there will be a prize that you can earn. And I'm debating if I should tell you about the prize. Do you want to know about the prize? Say yes, and then I'll quick tell you. Or do you want to be surprised? I'm trying to think if he told you. You'll probably find out. And then I'm going to go. Or I can just hold it up and tell you. It's backwards. Prize, exclusive warmer, blue in color. They're doing the mushroom warmer, but it'll have a blue top on it, so you can start building a mushroom field. So on that, I'm gonna go, but I love you guys. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, but please get out of those groups and stop, because here's the thing, the more you talk about the negativity in the negative groups, it's still negative. You're being negative. When you come to me and go, oh, it's really killing my mood, you're being negative. It has affected you. Get out. I told Annette earlier, I'm like, if you choose to sit in manure, then it's a choice. Or you can get out of the manure. So get out of the manure, come into the happy place, and let's do some amazing and find our swing. Who is in for the swing? I want y'all on my boat. Stay tuned for climbers. Okay, bye.